another episode of Artist Unknown with Val Peter.
So nice to be here with Linda Shumas. It's been a while. I've been wanting to have a conversation with you. I finally caught up to you. And it's nice to be here at the Lindsborough Hall.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk to you. I think you have such a unique, special relationship with the piano.
We don't want to go there. But yes, it is something that's been with me for a while.
I'm curious. Your family, your origins, were they artistic? You come from an artistic family?
Yes. My father, he was an engineer in the top of his field, but he drew. In fact, when he was 4 years old, he drew a perfect horse, they all said. And then when he was 17, he did a drawing called Landing of the Romans. And it was put in Vancouver Tech for about 50 years.
So he kept on drawing throughout his life?
Oh yes, and then he turned to carving as well. So we have enough for a museum of his carvings.
Wow.
Beautiful work. He did a lot of cowboys, and he liked character, because he liked humor as well.
And that was your father and your mother?
That's where I get the piano from. Actually, she played the piano. She had an amazing ear and a beautiful touch. And but my father listened to opera, so both of them contributed to my musical upbringing. And in fact, my sister also studied opera, and I'd play for her.
And she went on to become a naif painter.
Yes.
So this is a style of painting they say it's like primitive art because there's no perspective.
Hers would be called refined naive because of all the details and everything. The primitive is more like the stick people. You've seen those paintings, right?
Right.
They don't have all the detail in the faces and.
It's like a children's drawing.
Yeah.
Because you don't have, say, if there's something in the foreground and something in the background, it doesn't change in size.
But she's got all the details and.
The detail is the same no matter where it is.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And she's remained true to that art.
The thing is, she was into fabrics as well, and she loved costumes, and when she was younger. And my grandmother on my father's side was a seamstress, and she used to make us clothes with her own patterns, right? Or she didn't use a pattern, actually. In fact, she made all the Barbie doll clothes. So,
interesting.
Now, unfortunately, Barbie's real clothes are worth something, but they didn't look as great as the ones, my grandmother made. But, so that's where my sister got this love for sewing and fabric, and she does needlepoint. She did my piano bench and harpsichord bench. And I think this is where the paintings come from, the details of the, fabric work as well.
You grew up in West Vancouver. That's that place that's over the Lionsgate Bridge.
Yes, the North Shore.
And take me back to the memorable moments of you and the piano and how it all came to be as far as when you're skilled. It was your calling coming out.
Okay, well, actually, when I was about 4, I felt something, I was going to do something. I didn't know what it was, okay? Then at 7, they enrolled me in the piano, and my sister as well. She was 4 years older, or she's 4 years older. They put us both in. Now, she did well. She knew her notes, apparently, but I didn't at the first year. I wasn't into it. Then after, I don't know, the next year, I guess I was 8, I really felt it again. But the teacher was the problem, because the thing is, if you're very sensitive child, and the music, I was very sensitive with the music, but every time, you know, if I hit a wrong note and she's going to hit it with the steel pointer, it's going to affect the child, I think, which it did to me.
This was your first teacher?
Yes. And I went to her for 11 years, even though I went to the doctor and all this. He said, hit her back. I didn't want a lawsuit. But, so this is what happened, right? But I loved the music, and I turned to composition, because I thought, well, then I can do it. I love it, and I'm not going to be told this is right, this is wrong. So that's how I opened the door to that creative side.
What was the highlights, though? Some of the things that happened that enforced the ideal that, hey, Linda has something here.
I guess I had a good ear. I played by ear.
And this is at 5?
Yeah, 7.
7?
Yeah, I was playing by ear. That's the thing.
Wow.
So they thought I had a good ear. That's probably what happened. But I like to be more creative. You know, I didn't listen to what the teachers said type thing, but they could still tell because I had a good sound. They always said I had a beautiful touch. That's what they said. And then I was touched. I mean, mentally.
And you were touched
No,
by the
just
nun.
kidding. She used to hit me with the steel pointer if I hit a wrong note, but every bar there was a wrong note. So, but so this is the thing. So it turns you off, right? But I did love the music, and I liked doing my own thing. But I wasn't actually composing. The pieces just came.
Well, you're
in
at that
full.
age.
But they'd come out in full pieces.
But you actually
That's the
started
thing.
composing when you were 7.
Well, at 8 I did. I looked at a Christmas tree and I had a sad moment thinking it was going to be gone.
And you had a
And
song.
I sang about it. Yeah.
That was one of your first compositions?
Yeah.
What was it called?
Little Christmas Tree. I could recite it, but I'm not going to sing it. So that was at 8. Then at 14, I thought, oh, I'm a composer. I liked the whole romanticism of it. We were into the, my sister and my cousin, we used to just have fun, live in our own world of Victorian times.
I sense that Victorian
Yeah, we
heritage
love
from your
that.
family.
Very. And we loved medieval. And like my sister was so, like all her paintings, none of them have the modern clothes. It was like that. That's why she puts all the Victorian and medieval, and you'll never find anything in even the 20th century. You won't. Because it's drab and bland to her, right? So anyways, the same with me and the music, and we were listening to Bach and opera. My dad always played opera. Every Sunday it was ham and cheese and opera. So, sandwiches, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I remember one night he had some people over, they were playing bridge, and I was sleeping. I went to bed, but I had heard the opera. He had all this opera going all night. And then I couldn't believe it. It was the most gorgeous thing. It was Puccini and Verdi and Mascagni, who was his favorite composer, who wrote Cavalleria Rusticana. I heard the voices and the melodies. That's what I wanted. I felt that.
When you'd hear the classical music,
Yes, but the opera is what did it to me.
you would extract that portion of the part
I just
that
felt it.
that's what made you.
Well, I don't know if that's me, but that's what I felt the most. And then when my sister sang, her voice was so gorgeous, like a bell, that I wanted to emulate that sound when I play. And that's why my sound is all about my sound. Listening to the voice is what gave me my, I wanted that sound, to create that sound on the piano, which is very clear, and the phrasing. That's the thing. I'm coming from an operatic place when I play. You know, that's the music in my ear. I'm thinking.
But were you considered a prodigy?
They didn't talk like that. And back then, people said things. They'd come over and they'd be impressed. I was like a wind-up. I mean, you know, my family would have dinners, bridge, and I'd always be but brought out, and my sister too. She'd sing and I'd play, and then I'd play my own. And that's when they were really blown away about me as she's a genius. That word is loosely used. It is.
That was great reinforcement at the time. And
yeah, but that's what kept me going. Because, they think I'm this. Oh, I am this. Boom. Okay. Then you get the wall coming up of people attacking your, like insecurities will come up. Like at university, if someone says, oh, you're playing that and you're all ready to do something, that can turn you the other way too. No matter how much you know. You can, just on a dime, I could turn on a dime. That's the thing. I was very sensitive. It's been a problem. Okay.
Sensitive to critique.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bad. Not anymore, I don't care, but it's really, that bothered me. I wanted to please everyone, right? If someone, to me, that's why young players are more show-offs. So I'll say it, I was a show-off, trying to play as fast as you can and all that.
Because you fed off all the positive from your family.
Yeah, they're like, they're all impressed.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I love playing more sensitive, like ballads and slow to get into the sound.
So the original compositions gave you the liberty to express your music the way you wanted without being judged. And
they were technical pieces, so I never played scales, but by my own work, it's like, they just came out in full pieces anyways. All the pieces that I remember were created, or I just sat down and I played them full. So they can be very technical, but I wasn't thinking technical. I just played it. Do.
That's what I mean. I think you have a very special connection with just
that's why I think
the piano.
It is from without sounding out there, okay? I don't know where they come from.
But then as you progressed into your teens, you continued to take lessons. Was there ever an intention to become, say, a concert pianist?
They thought I did have the talent.
Technique.
Well, I'm talking about teachers and that, but I didn't like the pressure of it. Plus the competition thing. I wasn't a competitive player. That takes a different type of a person. It's like a racehorse or something. That's not what I'm feeling with music.
You connected through, I guess, pleasure. It was a pleasurable thing.
But when I play it, I'm not thinking, technique. And when I hear a great player, I never think, he's got fantastic technique. No, to me, then it's not coming across. I want someone to feel it when I play it. Not say, she's got great technique. It's about the music. Same with playing Bach or Chopin, all of them.
But was there any icons, any influences from...
Yes. Yes. I'll tell you who.
Who were your icons?
Well, they were pianists that also were influenced from the voice and opera. And they come from that background. Horowitz, for one. I love Horowitz. I love Richter, Sviatoslav Richter. He was also opera from that world, meaning he loved opera and played for opera singers, and you hear it in their playing. It's very lyrical. You hear so much depth of sound, colors.
It's funny that you mention the opera.
Yes.
And then that whole, it's kind of like a trance. To me, it's like being possessed. You get into the music and they become the piece. So I think that was kind of what you do with the piano.
That's exactly it.
Good.
Because it's also like, I'll mention someone that we both know, Ezra
Asman.
Yes. because the violin is an extension of him, okay? A lot of people you see playing, it isn't. It's just a part of him. When he moves, he's like a dancer with it. When I'm playing, I want that same thing, that same connection. That's what I'm feeling with it.
When you received the Jean Coulthard Award, you must have been 22 years old,
No,
and you received...
come on, 18.
Was it 18?
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not... Yeah.
Yeah.
When that proximity of age, and you received the Best Original Composition at the Kiwanis Music Festival.
Yes.
That must have been something at that age to receive an award of...
No, I was happy to get it. And then it turned out she lived in West Van.
Right, right.
Last years. I wanted to go see her. I actually went to the building, but I didn't have the nerve. And her music's beautiful. I played a viola and piano fantasy that I play with Joe Nadarada, who's also in a duo with me, Duo Machant.
And you've also played in various venues in Toronto. You played at the Poor Alex Theatre.
Oh, that was the, in the Fringe, my sister and I did, well, she wrote the musical.
The Fringe Festival.
It was a play, yes. Called The Tale of Maureen. And now we're redoing it as a musical. So I've got about 20 songs, and I'm just reworking things, and she's reworking.
And you played at the Glenn Gould's studio in the CBC.
That was celebrating 25 years of trying to, get out there. So I did play there, and that performance was called The Color of Sound. See, there again, I wanted to express the sound. It's all about the color of the sound.
It seems to me to be a concert pianist in this day and age, I've heard it before, it's like, look at that person playing the piano, so many keys. How do they know how to put their hands? It seems like there's some kind of a mystical quality behind being like a concert pianist. What is that mystical power? How do you do it?
I think anyone can learn the actual note part of it, the mechanics of it, right? Like what the notes are, reading it. But it's far more than that. It goes beyond that. Because we have enough typists, right? Nothing against typing. But this isn't typing. And so it's all about beyond that, written page. Because it's just black dots. Okay? And we need the technique to be able to play the black dots. But it's beyond those black dots. That's where I want to be. That's where we all want to go, right? But the competition is saying, okay, this is how you do it. I don't know, because I'm not in the competition. That's what I'm saying. That's another world to me. A world that it's not. I'm totally on my own in this.
And you were on your own when in 1984 you came out with your debut album.
Yes, I
Positive Force. What a wondrous album. I enjoyed, very powerful. What was the motivation, the power, the positive force behind that album?
I just had a drive that I wanted to do this. I thought, I'm this. When you're young, I had this drive that I'm going to conquer the world with my piano music. So this is what I did. I came to Toronto, and it was the punk era. That's the thing. I didn't just focus on my playing. I really was in the punk, new wave, having fun, partying. That's the thing.
Because I noticed the cover of the album. It doesn't look like a classical style pianist cover. It's more of kind of to me it reminded me of a Pat Benatar cover.
Well, see, this is the thing the critics said. When they saw the cover, they weren't expecting what I was playing. In fact, some people, it turned out at some thrift shop, someone emailed me and said that he thought he was in a punk band and he bought it because of the cover. But then he said he loved the playing, and it was just totally... So, maybe because I really was a punk rocker type, that was the crowd I hung out with, yet I was a musician, classical. So I was torn because I wasn't,
So you've always had that collision of original versus classical within you, an inner turmoil.
See, I'm back to the classical again. I love it. I've been playing chamber music because I stopped playing it for years. And then when I met Ezra, he's the one that said I should play it. Then I started to fall for it, and now I'm totally into it, and it's just a part of my, who I am.
Then 1995 comes along, and you came out with Voices from the Cloisters. Tremendous album. To tell you the truth, I wept to tracks like The Falling, voices like, Woods music.
Woods music.
Love Woods music. It was something about me, but also something that your music did that triggered it. It was a lot of inner emotion that I guess needed to be released. So your music, when I actually, I listen to all your tracks and I get into the artist because I'm going to interview you. And it was something that it sparked, and I just broke down. And it was so therapeutic. It kind of, like a cleansing, an emotional cleanse. I just listened to it, and it was so touching. Your music is so transcending. So
Should I put a warning on it?
it's a good thing. It's definitely something I recommend to people that want to kind of let go and purge their feeling. It's powerful, but still ethereal, delicate.
Not new age, though. See, I don't.
But it's unique. That's what makes it. But it's touching. There's something about it. It's powerful in the sense that it's penetrating. There's a core melody, the verse. It's just the way you've created this. It goes through you.
I feel the sound. That's why. You said it. I feel the sound.
Yes.
I can play a lot of different pieces. Let's say play other people's pieces. I don't feel it. But when I do come across a piece I feel, it's going to have that same quality. But because it's my own, and I have all the things that I can put it out there with, meaning technique and all that, I'm going to put mine out. I feel it. I don't have to decode it, right? And I'm influenced from Chopin and Liszt. It's going to, when I look at their scores, it's the same. If I wrote my work out, it would be the same. And I've neglected to write it out for over 30 years. The memory's not as good as it was, so I'm glad it's on recordings, but I've got to write it out. But then I'm going to start thinking of it as notes, right?
Right.
This is good therapy. So there's the catch-22, but I think I'm ready now to write it out because I'm starting to see classical music the same as I do my own. So it's finally meshed together.
In 2007, then you came out with your third album, and that was...
Well, actually, there was a couple in between.
Was there?
Well, with some other people, though. And they weren't out there, released. Like maybe a small number of them, but they were still recordings. With Ezra, with Joe, with, different people like that.
So you kept...
But this one you're talking about was, and then it was put out on a classical label, Phoenix Records.
And that was...
Here in Toronto.
Paradise Reborn.
Yes. And Paradise Reborn is the piece I wrote at 14. But I didn't write it out. That has to be written out. But this is...
you wrote that at 14, Paradise Reborn.
I created it at 14. I don't say wrote it out because it's not written out on paper, but it is here still.
So I quote from the liner note from the album, "The greatest impression that this album leaves one with, however, is what a wonderful instrument the piano can be." If you could kind of elaborate on that.
Well, it is what the liner note was, right? I didn't write that, but I think he's reflecting on the fact that I played Haydn and Rachmaninoff and Scarlatti, as well as my own compositions, and the producer of the recording and the record company, Nick Peros of Phoenix Records. So he gave that a good write-up.
So tell me a little bit about your piano.
My piano. It's a beauty. It's got a lot of teeth. It's a Xyler. Is that free advertising?
It's good to have
It's
a name.
from Bavaria. It's well known in Europe, in concert halls, I think. But originally I was going to get a Bechstein, and then this was there and I played it. I'd never heard of the name even, because here it wasn't known as much. And it's bright, but it's a beautiful sound.
A piano like that, does it have to be tuned often, or that's the sign of a good piano where you don't need to tune it?
Oh, well, I have a humidifier, dehumidifier, so that helps. But it is good because I play it a lot. And also, if I'm going to record here, I like to get it tuned. So twice a year, when the weather's, changing.
So a quality piano will hold its tune longer?
Yes.
I see.
And also with that system I have with it, right?
It's like your vehicle, isn't it? You mentioned something about that. What's that?
Well, it's not it's probably worth as much as a really nice car. But I don't have a car, and this gets me to where I need to go.
So it transports you without
yes.
even leaving the Linsmore Hall.
No parking trouble. Or gas trouble.
I loved your titles. Ruins, Dance of the Anemones. It takes you to that place where you want to go. It's kind of like you turn on that faucet of music and you're there. Very light. I'm a diver, and when I listen to, for example, Dance of the Anemones, it's captured the whole movement, like an anemone that in the water. It's like blowing in the wind, but it's like underwater. And then the violin, who's that playing the violin?
He's an amazing violinist, Iranian violinist. Peyman Vassell.
Peyman Vassell.
Yes, Vassell. And he played beautifully. I met him through Ezra as well. He's in California now. And he was improvising. That's his work on top of my piece. Both of the pieces that he did. Also the Lotus Sandals. He's also on that one. And I think he had an amplifier in his violin. And sometimes it would pick up the piano. So it would have that effect, right?
I totally fall in love with it. I fall in love, to tell you the truth, to be honest, I fall in love with every artist I interview. And not so much because of the interviews. It's more of the editing. It's taking time to actually savor, listen, absorb what the person creates, be it a painting, be it composition, music, performing, and appreciating the beauty of that inner beauty that comes from that person.
Thank you.
So at this stage of your life, do you find you have a sense of accomplishment, or do you have a burning desire, yearning to create more?
No, I haven't gotten to where I feel I'm going to be. And I think with the classical, I'm feeling more secure in that now. So that's why I'm working on a lot of the solo work. And I love playing chamber music.
So is there...
I do it with my duo, with Joe Nadarada and with Ezra Asman. Then the three of us play together. We can play together as well. I enjoy that.
Is there a creative wake over the horizon? A production that you're excited about?
I think Joe and I are going to be playing at the Cameron House.
Oh, the Cameron House on Queen Street.
Yes, in
Great
February,
venue.
I think.
In February?
Yeah.
But what is the greatest reward then for you? What
Just
fuels you? What gives
people.
you the spark?
Well, reaching people.
Reaching
and when
people.
They feel it. That makes me feel good. Like when you said you wept. That makes me feel good. That means I did reach. It did get there. That's the main thing that I'm about. Because I do feel like it is a mission that I have.
So what do you do as far as the internet? Do you put out your music? Are you on different platforms?
It's on YouTube. It's on iTunes. You can buy it on that. And CD Baby, all those, right? And SoundCloud, I have a few things there.
And you're on different labels, too.
It's even been on the radio. It's been in Fanfare magazine. I mean, I've had write-ups.
Right.
And...
well, you were also on Bravo channel for Artist of the Day?
when it first came out.
Which that was what, Positive Force?
No, actually that was Voices from the Cloisters. That one. And I've had my music, used for other things, like Adrienne Clarkson, when she had the show before she was the Governor General. And people have used it for their films and animations because they feel they get something out of it. Emotions. It stirs up emotions. I don't know why, because I don't have any. But that's where they come through.
You don't have them from when you play it? But you must have had something.
For the piano. That's what I'm saying. When I'm playing, that's where my emotions, they're all stuck there.
Stuck there?
Not here. That's what I mean. They're all over there.
If you had any ultimate dream come true as an artist, what would that dream be?
I don't know.
I guess...
I think I had the dream when I was a child, you see? And it became a nightmare. No.
Well, when you got into the method and how you had to perform, but being able to express yourself, is that the dreaminess of what you do? The quality, like you said, reaching other people?
Yeah, reaching them. That's it.
So
because then it...
So maybe reaching the whole world, where the whole world would listen to your music.
Well, I think more people, that's for sure.
More
right?
people.
Yeah, because when it does reach someone, then it could reach others that aren't being able to, they don't have access to it, they don't know about it, you see? That's the whole thing. They don't know about it.
So I'll definitely come and see you when you play Massey Hall. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's been intimate.
Thanks.
And I wish you the best.
Thank you very much for listening.
My pleasure.